Hi guys, it's Erlane and I am here to do my makeup, chat a little bit. I just got out of bed, brushed my teeth, took a shower. I'm gonna be doing my makeup because today, which is probably gonna be the catalyst for this little makeup chit chat conversation, I am starting my first session of therapy. I was actually really hesitant to make a video about this, let alone like just the thought of me making a video about this really scared me. I feel a lot more comfortable talking to a camera than I do real people. However, sometimes I think I am too vulnerable, or there are just some things I don't like to share, or it's a case of not the random strangers that I don't know exist who watch my videos, but I know there are probably some people who know me in real life who I don't talk to, who I don't associate with, or what have you, and it makes me uncomfortable that those people may see videos like this and know what's going on in my life, perceive me in some sort of way, and I don't like that if I don't have a relationship with you. But I think I just have to stop being so worried about what other people think. It's like half of me wants to put myself out there, be honest with you guys, because I genuinely have always just felt a special connection to YouTube. That's why no matter however long I'm gone or whatever, I always find a way to come back, or I'm always just thinking about making videos and talking about stuff, because it really is the only way I feel comfortable talking about things rather than with people in my real life. But long story short, it took a lot for me to make this, especially because Egtopia, I post subliminals on there. Sometimes I go live on there and I talk about my problems, or I just bring up things, whether it be randomly on stories or whatever, and there's always those people that are like, you use subliminals, why isn't your life perfect? Why don't you use subliminals to fix this, blah 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 blah. And I get it, I understand. However, I don't think it should be right to say that to invalidate someone's struggles, because at the end of the day, I am a human. There are some long-term things that are going to take a little bit more than just subliminals and manifesting and prayer or whatever to fix and, you know, improve in your life. So I ask, if you are one of those people who comments one of those things, just stop, whether it be towards me or just like anybody. It pretty much invalidates the person completely, because trust me, if a subliminal could fix the issues that I'm going on with, I would have fixed it a long time ago. Trust me. But like I said, there are just some things that are a lot more complex and a lot more difficult than that. So that is one, why I'm sitting here making this video. Two, why I'm fucking going to therapy later on. And three, just why I want to start being more honest and stop fucking worrying about what people think and how they perceive me. But anyway, if you are my real life and you are watching this and you now know this information, just don't talk to me in person about it. That's all I ask. And I'm really scared, obviously, as one would. I'm obviously excited to start on a path of, if not completely getting better, recovering, whatever you call it, just learning how to manage my mental health better, because I think I'm not the best at that. I'm pretty sure most people aren't, which is why you go get help to do it. To make a very long story short, for the past 3 months, actually over the summer too, but intensely in the past 3 months, I think it's a combination of both seasonal depression and just like the regular cloud and haze I always feel over just me and my life. It's been bad. I have never been more anxious in my life during this time period, and if I'm being completely frank, should I do that? Okay, if I'm being completely frank, the thing that made me actually schedule the damn appointment was I had my first, I think it was an anxiety attack. My mom and friends say that it was an anxiety attack. I don't know the difference between an anxiety or a panic attack, or if they're the same. I literally don't even know what they're like, because I've never had one. The only depictions I've ever seen of one are the ones on television. I thought all of them had to be that intense. I didn't know there were like different levels or anything of that sort, and that was really just like my last straw, because that's not normal to me. It scared the living shit out of me, I think, as anyone could imagine. And I think that was my body, my mind, whatever, God, my Lord and Savior, just telling me that I need to do what I need to do. I always am the type to just try to like fix things on my own, or find methods to fix them on my own. Therapy was something I always wanted to try, but I'm sure, as most of you, if you come from like an ethnic family, mental health isn't always taken seriously. It's not that my parents don't like support me when I try to come to them with my problems, but my problems are always minimized. So I just always thought that they were not as serious as I made them out to be, and they were just something I would get over, or I would just have to learn how to manage it and not make a big deal out of it, because it's not that serious. Okay, so I just got back home from helping my mom do what she needed to do, and the session is about to start. So I'm gonna talk more after I'm done and then continue with the video.
These girls and lawyer, baby play games. These girls and lawyer.
So the session's done. I knew I was gonna like choke up, cry. No, never that. But it was good. We already have some other sessions scheduled. She's really booked apparently, so I have to wait until like the 26th of November, I think, basically Thanksgiving break, to start another session. But after that, it's pretty consistent. So I am excited, scared as hell, but excited. I'm just excited to get started on this journey and see what the hell is going on with me so I can be better, all that good stuff. So hi guys, my fan's on, so I hope you don't mind it on. It gets really quiet in my room and the silence makes my ears start to ring, so I figured I'd just leave it on, and it's in a corner right now, so that's how it's gonna be. So it's currently 9 o'clock. Well, it's actually currently 9:33, but I woke up at 9 o'clock. From the last clip that you saw, I was crying a little bit, and then my mom had came home because she wasn't home, and she asked me how it went. It was not only her asking me that, but just like the session. Obviously, because I was talking about those things, I started just thinking about them again in my head and kind of putting myself back in the places that I was talking to the counselor. And I don't know if you guys experienced this, but like when you, especially if you've like grown and changed a lot as a person, whether that be like your mindset or just like how you react to things and whatnot, I just started feeling very, 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 very sorry to my old self. And I felt bad for younger Erlane, and I felt just like, not stupid, but just like, I just felt so bad for my old self, and I wish that didn't happen to her, her being me. And I wish it wasn't like that intense, I don't know. And I started bawling my eyes out, and my mom was sitting there. She's like, why are you crying? And it's something I never told her before, so then that was just like my first time telling her too. I was like, you know, I've never even told you this, and I just felt so, I think I'm gonna start crying again. Bitch, I've been crying all fucking afternoon. I'm tired. I just feel really sorry, and I feel bad for my old self. And I wish that the things that happened back then and the mindset that I had back then wasn't the case, because then I could have avoided those things. My mom told me this. As much as I feel sorry to myself and feel bad, I'm also happy about what those lessons told me, because I think that even if it didn't happen then, it would have happened at some point later on in my life, just because of like solely my mindset at the time. I was extremely naive. I guess just, you know, that naivety fell into the hands of the wrong person and kicked me in the ass. I told her I was scared. She's like, why are you scared? My mom, she's like, why are you scared? And I'm like, because, you know, I'm happy to get started on this journey, but it's just scary to be confronting and talking about and just like have all these things that you're trying to work through right in front of your face with a person holding you accountable, kind of, instead of just like repressing it or finding some coping mechanism or just kind of pushing it to the back of your head like most people do. And I just kind of like, I'll talk about it, realize some things, and try to just like not think about it after that. But this time I really just want to have it in my face and go through it, you know what I mean? If you're wondering why my eyes are so freaking puffy and swollen, that's why. That was at like what, 3 something, because the session ended around 2:50. I didn't know what else to do. Something that really calms me down when I'm just like in my head and doing whatever. That's Milo. If you hear like saliva sound, he's probably like licking his balls right now or something, I don't know. But to calm myself down, I always either watch like cafe vlogs or watch those like home cafe compilations by that one channel. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but just like those ASMR, just really quiet type of videos really calm me down, because it's just something to focus on, honestly. Like when you have no other thoughts, when you are just super quiet, you can't talk because you just have nothing to say anymore. Those are the videos I watch because they just take no thought. You're just watching people make drinks. That's it. And I find that really calming. Rather than when I try to cheer myself up, I usually watch something like funny. But I wasn't in the mood to feel anything. If you are watching this and you've been contemplating therapy, getting help, whatever, I know therapy's not for everybody, but I do think everyone should at least try it. I have always just been an advocate for trying something at least once just to see how it goes. Whether it's through therapy or you just kind of going through like a self-growth journey, whatever that entails for you, I just hope that you are just pushing through. I know not everything is always going to be picture perfect. At least I hope you can manage through, you know, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's the motivational talk I wanted it to be, but I hope it helps. Anyways, I'm going to take a shower, brush my teeth, probably go back to bed because I am still pretty tired. If not, then I'll just stay up and watch like Curtis Connor or something. I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna turn this off and I'll see you when I see you. Hi, so I'm gonna do a short little baby review of Tiny Pretty Things because I was gonna do it in the video with my camera, but then I forgot I had that star on my eye and it was freaking huge, so I'm gonna do it right now. So out of 5 stars, I would give it a solid 3 out of 5. The dancing and the acting were done by people who were both actual trained dancers and just happened to be actors, which means there's no acting doubles. So while the dancing was okay to pretty good, the acting was a little bit iffy, and I feel like that'll mess up the watch if you're someone who's more watching it for the dancing part, or if you don't know about dance and you're watching it for the acting, then it's gonna be a little bit subpar. You can tell that this was made for people who don't really know too much about dancing, the dance world, ballet academies, all that stuff, because I think most people, and I've seen the other people who actually have like gone to ballet schools and gone to these really professional trained schools like in the show, it's a little bit over dramatized. So I will give an honorable mention to Oren and Shane though, because I feel like they were the best two of them that didn't really like show off their flaws in terms of not being these super crazy actors, but also dancing damn good. Oh my goodness. I like the themes that they showed in the show, and while there was a lot of over dramatized scenarios, I think it really did just add to the entertainment factor of the plot. However, there was a storyline between Nevaeh and Oren that was a little rushed and also not made clear, so when the show was over I was like, hold on, what the fuck. Also, Netflix did not renew this show for a 2nd season, which makes me so mad. So honestly, if you're someone who doesn't like watching shows when they don't finish, I honestly don't recommend you watch this because it did leave on a cliffhanger, assuming that they were gonna get a 2nd season, but they're not. So also, it's literally 1 in the morning right now. Excuse my appearance. Let me turn this off. Good morning. It is currently 1:42 p.m. and I just finished taking these pictures on... Oh wait, no. Huh? I just finished taking these pictures that I just posted on my Instagram outside. It was really impromptu because I was kind of contemplating if I should go to school today since I haven't been to this class in like 3 weeks. At first I wasn't gonna go because of the little thing I had in my eye yesterday, but it honestly doesn't look that bad. I'm kind of being dramatic. Like, it looks like this eye, and I look equally as tired in both eyes. So since I'm like, okay, Arlene, you took pictures, obviously you're okay enough to go to school, so I'm gonna go. First I have to go to FedEx to drop off some packages for my mom, and then I have to go to Walmart to get a new SD card because the one in here, I'm pretty sure my brother gave me a broken, fucked up SD card and took one of mine because this is 124 gigs and the one I gave him is like 32 or 64. And I'm sitting here like, why would he trade me for a smaller SD card? And I think it's because this one is fucked up, since every time I try to film something, I tried to get like a foliage shot today of the leaves since they look really pretty, and it kept like saying memory card failed and corrupting the video files. So hopefully this doesn't get corrupted. I just transferred the clips onto my computer back there and formatted the SD card, but I'm gonna go get a new one, so let's go. This necklace is from AliExpress. I got it with this other like cherry necklace that I wore in one of my most recent Instagram pictures. It just looks like this. It's like candy kind of inspired. It was like K-pop Harajuku kawaii, like that was the title on AliExpress. And I'm wearing this wig that I also got from AliExpress. If you want it, I'll link it. I just didn't want to do my hair today because what the fuck do I look like putting on makeup, doing my hair for like a 1 hour and 30-minute class? I'll show you it in the mirror. Why is my head so fucking bulky on top? Here is what it looks like in the mirror. I literally love the way these sweatpants shape my legs. I like when they kind of like make your legs flare out instead of like straight down. There's the cutouts on the shirts. Deciding to cut the vlog off here. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far into the video, watched to the end, gave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to subscribe, that would mean a lot. This vlog isn't supposed to be too crazy or anything. I just felt like filming because I've tried to film over the course of the weeks and every single time something goes wrong, and I think this time I think this video is gonna make the cut. And I just wanted to show just days of my life since I haven't posted in a little bit, so I just wanted to show a casual, maybe a little bit more of a relatable day of my life where I just kind of go to school, stay at home, do little things here and there without just like going crazy, you know? If you're new to my channel, what's up? My name is Arlene St. Cyr. I'm 20 years old. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and like I said earlier, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. All my social medias will be linked in the description, along with like my card website with anything else on there that already isn't in the description. And as always, I appreciate all of your support and patience, and I love you all. Peace out.